Now we're live.
Now we're live. Good morning, everybody.
Now we're live. Okay.
Yeah, we're live.
You have to push two buttons.
Amazing that it works at all with your internet going.
Yeah, if you're new to the stream and you didn't upread all of the comments, my internet, as usual, is a little sketchy this morning. You know, my router, you know, the little signal bar you have at the top of your computer screen, it says I've got all the bars in the world, but the internet itself, as I guess delivered to me, is just not the best.
But it's working a lot better than it did.
Yeah, when we first come on this morning, like I think Steve and I got on about 7:15, 7:20 my time, yeah. And it was dropping really bad. So, Steve, you want to run down chat for us?
Yeah, boy. Good morning, everybody, man. Chat is flying by. You guys must have had a great weekend last week. Anyway, we got JD, John, Grandpa Rails. We got Roy Hardwick, Container Man. Good morning. Allison, good morning. Heath, good morning. John, Schuylkill River Valley. Steve Anderson, good morning. John Tanzillo, Chuck, CDP 1965. Sorry I missed you, man. He was in the area. We had family for the holidays, but man, he did a motorcycle trip. Did I say John Tanzillo? Rob T-Man, Sparky. Good morning, Sparky. How are you? Andy, Hot Dog Pilot. Oh, and Dave, BNSF. Good morning. My buddy, Chris Brew. How are you, Chris? All right. We got Mark Pruitt. Good morning, Mark. My buddy, Bernard C. How are you, Bernard? Oh, boy, man, I tell you, did I miss anybody? We got Al Marr. Good morning, Al.
Did you get Allie?
I got Allie. Good morning, Allie. I think, man, I know there's more, but yeah, we got 25 people already. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, okay. Just before we went live in the green room, we were listening to Bill's adventures and his plans for retirement, and I think we've got to start the show off right there where we left off in the green room.
Oh, amen on that one.
Okay, I can kind of take it from the beginning here. Let everybody know. So I am bound for retirement. The 12th is going to be my last day with Amazon. Been there like 13 plus years. Worked 45 years. It's time. I'm going to call it. So, yeah. So I've got a few things that I'm going to be doing here in the very near future. Some change in direction. I'm still going to be modeling. Still going to be doing stuff with trains, but some different things with trains. So it's like the layout that's behind me, which is my ON30. I am looking to actually donate that to a local model railroad club. Those that have been around for a while know that I built that with the intention of display. It's a small layout, 4.5 by 14, able to be portable, go places, let little kids see it, and let little adult kids see it, let their eyes light up and see what they can do in small spaces. I'm going to donate it. Reached out to the Science Museum here in Richmond. They didn't want it. They thought it looked great, but it just didn't fit in with what they needed. They put me in contact with an individual who's a president of a local model railroading club. They are a charitable organization. So I'm going to talk with him actually a little later today and see what we can do and put this in and, probably get a tax deduction thing for it, go from there. But this way it'll be in a location where people are going to see it rather than sit in my garage. Something I want to do. The other is that with the HO and N scale layouts that are in here, I am probably going to sell them. So if anybody's interested, let me know. Layouts would come as they are. The only thing that would come off of them is the engines and train cars, but all scenery and everything else, I'll stay with it. If somebody's interested, let me know. I'm probably going to do a video on it maybe this weekend, just kind of put it out there. Same thing for the N scale that's on the other side. All of them are portable. I'm going to have them out of the garage. I've got plenty of materials to build more layouts. In fact, I've got more than enough to do another ON30, an HO layout, an N scale layout. I like building layouts and I like running them, but I have more fun on the building part, as you all see on my videos. I'll run the trains. I enjoy that and make them where they work good, but something I want to do. So if anybody's interested, let me know. You'd have to come get them. They are portable. Everything can go out. Everything's light. 2 people can lift, but that's kind of that. But then what my plan is on the 16th of this month, I will be on a flight and going back to Thailand. I will be living in Thailand for a while. I'll come back at the end of summer. My son's going into university at University of Virginia in Charlotte and getting moved in. But I'm tired of the U.S. in a sense. Not that I don't love the country and the people here, but I want to go someplace where it's quiet, it's peaceful, and the U.S. dollar is still strong, and you can buy a lot off of a U.S. dollar. And in Thailand, you can. So I've already got a place. It's out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's in a village of about 60 people. It is about an hour from the Lao-Vietnam border on the east part of Thailand, nowhere near the fun places, nowhere near the beaches or the, Bangkok. I'm far, far away from that. As I was talking in the green room, it's one of those places you go and all you hear are the birds. You hear the insects. You might hear an occasional motorbike going by or an occasional pickup or cows mooing, chickens clucking, ducks quacking. But you look in the sky, there's no contrails. There's no airplanes. There's nothing. It is absolutely beautiful and peaceful. There's palm trees, there's coconut trees, there's banana trees, and for as far as you can see, rice paddies. And in fact, I've got a rice paddy that's about roughly 1.5 acres. I'm going to grow rice this summer. The village elder said that kind of comes with the property. You're going to grow like everybody else. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to see what it's going to be like. So when I go, I've already got a bunch of stuff there. I've already taken clothes in the past trips that I've got everything I need for that. So the suitcase when I go this time is going to be loaded up with modeling supplies, styrene, wood, the X-Acto knives, cutting mats, probably some N scale equipment because I can build like a little N scale layout there off of what I've got. And, I can build O scale buildings, HO scale. I'm just going to have some fun and relax and see what I can do while I'm there.
Are you going to take a layout like Thailand, with rice paddies and palm trees and banana trees?
I had thought about, and it's something that maybe in the future, for right now, I would stay with what I'm familiar with, which is U.S. But I have, ridden the trains in Thailand quite a bit. And the rolling stock there is pretty interesting. It's, Asian like Japan and some European influence. And there are 2 or 3 hobby shops that I found in Bangkok. I haven't been there, but they list themselves as model.
How far away from Bangkok are you?
By train, about 8 hours. By plane, it's about an hour and 15 minutes. And flights there, like I can go from Bangkok to Ubin Ratchathani, which is a regional capital on the far east, for about, depends upon the time of day, anywhere from $28 to $56 for a one-way flight, hour flight, easy. But they've got like 3 hobby shops.
That's how much it cost me to drive to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it's just the prices are not bad. So I've got hobby shops that are available there that look like they have on their websites anyway, European and American, or I should say Western style equipment. I haven't been there. I'm probably going to go there at some point in time when I go back just to take a look. We'll see what the prices are like. But if it's like everything else, it's probably going to be a little better price than what it is here for some of the stuff. So that's kind of what I do. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to relax. I'm going to do some modeling. And like we were talking, it's like evening. They're 11 hours ahead of time from here right now. So it'll be not late evening, but evening. So I'll still be able to jump on the show most weeks, show you what I'm doing. And in the future, what I'm thinking of potentially doing is buying a prefab building and have it dropped on the lot. I can get something like that for what is about 100,000 baht, which is the equivalent of basically $2,500, and that's delivered. And it could be like what was it, I think it was an 8 by 20 shed.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm thinking that that's going to be something that's going to happen at some point in the summer too. Just it's just what I'm wanting to do, something completely different than anything I've ever done in my life. I've worked hard for all these years, so I'm going to indulge myself a little bit as we move forward.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that your wife's on board with this, and you guys are both.
No,
No.
we are. No. That is a split, and that has been in progress for 6 months now. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so no. This is hers. I actually signed off on that this past week. A quit claim deed. We get along. We get along well, but I hate to say it, it's more like brother and sister rather than husband and wife. So it's like, no. So
okay.
I don't have anybody lined up in Thailand. Some people. It's just I went there, last fall doing a thing for my mom from her will, and it's just fell in love with the country. It's just a beautiful place. It's just so peaceful. And after being in management for over 25 years, leading all kinds of people and listening to whine and complaints and helping people do good things, it's like it's time I'm just going to go where it's quiet.
I think we're going to call you Wild Bill now.
You can.
So is Bangkok the closest city to you with a hobby shop, or is there?
From what I have found, yes. I have not actually looked that's a good point. I'm going to have to do a search. But I did the search off Google when I was there. And of course, it's like, near you. And that's what it showed up. I'll have to check. There potentially could be a hobby shop somewhere else. The fact that there were even hobby shops in Bangkok that were specifically for model railroading surprised me.
Hey, put up Sparky's comment.
Let's see what Sparky got to say.
Which one?
So next time we see Bill in back and track, he'll be wearing one of those flat triangle-shaped straw hats made from rice.
Okay. You know what? I've actually got one there.
I would. So what about the availability of ordering things? I mean, so like with me, I can't go to a brick and mortar hobby shop, period. So virtually everything I get from eBay, occasionally from Amazon, whatever. Is that still a viable way for you to receive things?
I honestly do not know. Now, what I do know is that like the folks in the village do a lot of online shopping, and they have deliveries that bring them out from a place called Shop E, which is like their local Amazon. And that comes from the major distribution hubs in, bigger cities. So, there's a physical address. I'm sure I can get stuff shipped. I just have no idea how long it would take. Now, the advantage that I think I've got going into this is that over the past few years, you guys have seen me, I've gone crazy at hobby shops. I've bought tons of stuff. What I'll do is anytime I come back to the United States, I'll take a load of stuff back that I think I'm going to need. Like this time, it's going to be, scratch building materials. I'm getting some new mats I ordered off eBay so I can build things and just have some fun while I'm there, and then contemplate what I'm going to do to build an actual layout or a small switching layout, something on a desk that I've already got there. I'll stay in the hobby and I'll continue to build. I'll just be working with local materials a little bit more than what I have here. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I'll probably have a problem is track. And, I don't have a suitcase that's big enough for like the 36-inch track. I maybe have to get a big suitcase so I can put track in diagonal to take. materials, trains, all that kind of stuff for, checked luggage can go through without a problem. So track will be the only thing. I've got plenty of HO switches. If I do another HO scale switching layout, I've got tons of code 70 switches, probably about 35 or 40 of those already.
Does Amazon deliver with drones?
Not there, but
not there.
Maybe eventually. That's Sparky's plan for you.
Yeah, it's motorcycle delivery service out there, because I see the guy got boxes packed on the back of his motorcycle and bags, and he's driving through and drop stuff off for people that have ordered online. But the nice thing, again, out in the middle of
Mark wants to know: is your YouTube channel still going? Are you still going to keep us up to date with what's going on with your new builds?
Yes. The YouTube channel will continue. Here lately it's been kind of quiet because, again, other things going on. Jerry's build will continue. Probably get with him and see when he's ready to do scenery. So we'll be doing scenery on his layout at some point, probably towards the end of summer, because he's still busy building kits and figuring out how he wants things put on his layout. And things that I do will continue to populate on YouTube. Once I get settled and I start building, I'll start doing videos again on whatever scratch build I'm coming up with, kind of walk through the place that I'm at, the place where maybe the building's going to go. Because once I get the building, get wiring run to it, and it has a little air conditioner inside because it can get about 100 degrees there in high humidity. I can start building because I can get construction materials very easily.
Start another YouTube channel called Wild Adventures with Bill.
That might happen. I don't know. Yeah, you can get all kinds of stuff that's shipped. I've looked even, and I could get a shipping container and do a less than load, and I could ship stuff out there for about $10,000. Now, the thing is that most of the stuff that I would ship would be like power tools. And looking there, I can buy power tools there a lot less expensive than what they are here. So I don't need to ship what I've got. I'll just put all of my stuff in storage, because, again, eventually I'll come back and stay in the States and get a small place and then do more again as I get older. But how
are you with the language?
So I'm starting to learn. Luckily, there's enough people that know English much better than I know Thai. So I can listen and I can start to pick up on what conversations are talking about. It'll be kind of fun, and we'll see as we go here.
Do you know how to say, my name is Bill and I'm lost, take me home?
No. Just say, me, Bill, me no know anything.
Me. I'm trying to get Chad up.
But no, it's like, they got great GPS. The little village has Wi-Fi, and it's really good Wi-Fi, actually. So every home has Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. Better than mine.
I'm thinking, Dennis, I was thinking that yes, it is. I've been on many like Amazon internal calls on, some of our internal platforms, and my signal's been good all the time.
You like rice?
I'm surprised it's been as good as it has been this morning.
So I'm going to continue to do stuff. Like right now, I've got a video that maybe will come out this weekend or next weekend, where I'm doing a build on an O-scale oak tree that's going to go to the O-scale Railroad Club that's at the bottom of Caboose Stop Hobbies in Cedar Falls, Iowa. So they've got a spot. They asked me to do this last time I was there. So I'm building this.
Bill, that's funny. I should send you a picture of it. I've got an oak tree that looks just like that. It's dead. I got to cut down.
If I would model this as dead, I could say I'm done and then send it to them, but they want some greens on this one. So, I'll finish this. I've got a whole bunch of that super tree material, that sedum, and that's all that I've got left to put on it, do some touch up with the glue and ground cover. And I've got a tree that I've just got to find a box to send to them. So I've got a video that'll come out on this build. But, it's the same as I've done in the past. I built this and was showing it when I was doing the NMRA clinic a few weeks ago here in Richmond for the James River division of NMRA. And that went well. So we were talking about that last time I was on the show. Had about 20 guys that were there for the morning. had a good display, showed them how to do the furnace filter trees, as well as some of the wire wrap littler trees that I've been doing here recently too. And probably there'll be some pictures of that'll get posted in the James River newsletter that'll come out here in the future. I was asked to do a clinic probably in November for a joint meet between a couple of different divisions, and agreed to that. So, I'm still going to definitely be active in model railroading. And when I come back in the States, I'm still going to be all kinds of, active in model railroading here as well.
Wow.
Cool. That's big news.
That is big news.
Yeah, it's big news.
It's,
now we'll have occasionally people from Australia and Thailand now on the show. We are a truly international show.
Well, we've got. I think is it High in
yeah,
Norway
yeah. Of course, I haven't seen him in here this morning, but
we're
yeah.
So Back on Track will be the global Back on Track team.
The global Back on Track team.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Any other?
Very cool. Very cool.
You only live once, and it's like I'm an adventurer. Younger days, I would like to travel, and as a geologist, go to all kinds of places. Steve, you were talking about, hauling rafters. I've been whitewater rafting in Texas in the Santa Elena Canyon on the Rio Grande River. I've been on volcanoes. I like doing different things, and this is different enough in a place far, far away.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Is there seismic activity there? I mean, what's the geology like there?
Mostly just dirt. Plain dirt, river, old river alluvium.
No volcanoes.
There is nothing active right now anyway. There is gold mining that occurs in the country. Ooh. So I am going to take a pan, and there's there's a lot of dirt that has been put in place due to rivers in the long ago past. I'm going to do some panning just to see if I can find any gold for fun.
Oh, get a sluice box and a dredge if you find it, man.
And then Steve, 87th PSAP. I'm going to stay with the James River Division. I don't think we've got anything in Thailand. Not that I'm aware of anyway. I'm going to keep a local mailing address so I can get my Social Security deposited in my bank account, and then I can take it out on ATM machines there real easy.
Well, Dennis was saying he can run trains now from the top to the bottom. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually just sent one from staging. I have not done this yet, to see if I can send it all the way through. I've got my route set, so we'll see what happens.
Nice.
You're going to do a video of it, right?
Yeah, that's actually my plan for this weekend. My layout room is a complete disaster, except for like my immediate area. I did some cleaning last night. I've got a few other things that I need to do. But the rest, everything from this direction that way is just it's a complete mess, and it's driving me crazy. So I'm going to do that, and then I think I'm going to try and do an operating session. I have not added Maroon Creek to my JMRI operating scheme yet, because I want to operate it a few times kind of solo so I can kind of see how it's done, because when you mesh with JMRI, you kind of need to know how the physical layout works before you start adding tracks into the computer. That way you can make good decisions on how it's going to work. So I'm going to operate it a little bit probably this afternoon, and then get it added into the computer, and then hopefully before the end of the weekend have an operating session that involves Frying Pan and Maroon Creek, maybe even Silver Gulch. I don't know.
What'd you come up with the name for Beer Creek? Did you ever lock that one down?
Beer Creek?
Or was it Studs Creek we were talking about coming up?
Oh, you mean right here?
Yeah.
No, I really don't have a name for that creek yet. I mean, other than Maroon Creek, obviously, but I suppose I could change the name. But I think there's one other little creek, that's associated with the time saver that I don't really have a name for. Maybe I'll call that one Suds Creek. Yeah.
Man.
Which I guess I could try. I'm worried that if I try to pull in another device, that we might crash, but we'll see what happens.
So when are you going to get started on the scenery? Got any spots that
Well,
where you might actually do the beginning of that?
I do have an idea.
That's nice.
Oh, that's good.
A lot of ideas.
Ideas.
Let's
Oh
see.
God, there's two of you. Hey, good morning, Dave. Dave Todd popped in chat.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
With an echo.
Okay. Let's see how this works. Go. Is it this one?
Yep, there you go.
So here's, kind of the overall view. This area from here back is where I'm thinking I might do a little scenery. I haven't completely decided yet, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. And this is where I'm at right now.
Wow.
I haven't done anything at all with cork or anything in here because I really want to extend at least 2 or 3 feet this way. So I'll know exactly what's going on with this track. We'll just kind of have to see how that goes. But this is what I completed last, I don't know when it was, I think it was Wednesday night. I got all of this track laid in, glued down, and now I've got one more piece of foam I'm going to put on the outside, and then I'm going to think about the cardboard for where, because right in here, there's going to be the beginning of a tunnel somewhere, so that everything from about here to here will not be seen. It'll be hidden, and then this outside track, the high line, it will be seen throughout the entire run around the loop there. But I have run, some trains through here before, but really I've only ever gone that far. But I had to do a little tweaking on these 2 turnouts. I'm still concerned about those turnouts. Those are custom built, no jig. They did it on top of the paper that was HO scale. And I'm not hearing anyone. Can anyone hear me?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just
I
watching.
haven't heard anybody say anything, so I got worried there that maybe there was no feedback at all. But
we're just letting you talk.
Those 2 turnouts might need tweaked.
So for the tracks that you're going to have like hidden in a mountain, do you have a good ability to access from underneath for cleaning, or if you've got to do any re-railing?
Well, that's a great place for a roundhouse.
And I'm going to have to stop that. Hold on. Got a problem.
Wow. Hey, Dennis, that's a great place for a roundhouse.
Where, right here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Where are you going to put the turntable?
A little problem here. I forgot that I removed my stick that was holding this here, and then I bumped up against my cardboard. Very carefully.
Oh yeah, don't drop it on the floor.
Right.
Yeah.
So my maiden voyage did not go very well. because I forgot to look at a few things. Now I'm derailed, of course. But there you go.
That's normal.
But that's
insane, Dennis. Wow. That's a
where I'm
great
at.
layout tour.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
amazing how much you've gotten done in the past year or so.
Man, look at
Yeah,
that.
really, everything you see in here except the time saver is about a 2-year time period.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So here's what I'm thinking about in this corner. I don't think I've talked about this yet, but I'm going to put a mirror here. And with that track kind of just curving in that way, it should, and I've already tested it a little bit, but you know, unless you bring your head in right here, you really won't see anything. It's just going to make it look like that track extends on.
Okay.
Nice.
That's awesome, Dennis. Wow. Yeah, he says, wow, Gail has done a really great job on the layout.
Yeah, I like how you've designed it and built it with a lot of open area. You're going to have some spectacular scenery when you're done.
Yeah, all of this pretty much from here to that corner will be nothing but scenery. I hate that echo.
Well, then don't talk. Yeah. Steve Anderson says, good thing Dennis isn't watching right now. He'd be getting sick.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I can't watch my own stuff.
Man, that's insane, Dennis.
Yeah, you are going to have, I know you're having fun with it now, but you're going to have so much fun with it in the future as you get more and more done.
Yeah. One of the things my plan and my goal was to have all of this completed by June 1st. And I did. I connected this track. I got it all completed, I think, on Wednesday night during Heath's live stream, I think is when I made my final connections. And so I got that all finished by June 1st. I'm going to spend the rest of this weekend and I think next weekend I'm going to try and maybe do something over here because I want to extend this track far enough that I can bring a full train around and then I can use maybe that as a staging yard as it'd be my far east staging yard. Then I can operate from staging to staging and still have a way to turn a train around. I'll only use one train as a stage train, but then I can kind of see what it's like to bring a train, from my lower staging yard. Then I can swap cars as needed in frying pan and keep going. That's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. So that's going to be fun. And then I'm also, I think I mentioned earlier that my daughter is going to be here for about 2 weeks with her fiance, who I've never met. I'm going to force them to do some kind of little operating session where I'm actually got one person in Frying Pan and one person in Maroon Creek where we can swap trains. You build one there, I'm going to build one here. I send one to you, you send one to me, and kind of see how that goes.
What's the learning curve for, somebody that you never met that's never operated?
That's, I might be overly optimistic, I suppose. but that's going to be one of the cool things about this, is, my operating scheme is I don't have hardly any maps associated with my push buttons. It's just a concept of what is route 1. Here's a picture of route 1. What is route 2? And so, most of the time when you operate a railroad, you go around and you look at, okay, this turnout needs to go that way, and I'm going over here. So this turnout needs to go this way, that turnout, and then you go through and you align all of your turnouts, and then you begin or whatever. With me, if you know where you are and where you want to end up, for the most part, it's the push of one button. In frying pan, there might be 2 buttons you have to push, but in my opinion, it's very intuitive, where just like if I'm going to go to I-40, I have to take 270 first. And then once I'm on 270, then you push the button for I-40, and then you're on I-40. It works the same way. It's just a matter of understanding tracks get you where, and I think it's intuitive. I will find out if it's just me that thinks that, or if someone else who's never even operated a model railroad ever goes, oh, okay, I get this. That's what I'm hoping.
So I wonder what he thinks about. Is he a trained person?
What I know about him is that I guess he's a gamer. I was a gamer, when I was in high school and college, played role-playing games. I guess he's a role player, so there might be some commonality there. I don't know. But I'm sure that he will indulge me at least once, You
need to tell him he has to pass your test. And if not, that's what he's
done. Let's see. Lynn says, enjoy watching. I guess that's me. I don't know. As he's making comments about them. Yeah. Rob says if he dumps a train, he's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. See, now that would be something you could do if it was like around April Fool's Day, is if he was coming, just have a crap train, an old Tyco engine or something, have a place where he would be running, and you would have a deliberate derailment and just watch his expression as it tumbles to the floor.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Wow. Dave Todd says, don't stop and line your switches when you get to them. Oh, don't you stop and line your switches? No, I guess not.
No, I don't. All of my, except for Silver Gulch, one push button for the most part equals one switch, and they toggle. There's a couple in frying pan that are that way just for spurs, but for the most part, every push button on my layout, the bulk of them operate at least 2 turnouts, and there are some that are integrated with as many as 5 turnouts. I know my throat switch at the end of Maroon Creek that is not there yet because I haven't built it yet, but it's part of the scheme. It will quote unquote react to 5 different push buttons. I think 4 of them will all be the same command, but because you don't know which direction you're going to be coming from in the future, they all need to react just in case. Which I've got a video kind of halfway already built that edited and in the box, so to speak, that I talk more specifically about how you do it. Might not be a video for everyone, but it is part of my process, so I'm going to include it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Am I making switch lists or car cards and way builds, or I think I will be the eventually it will be timetable, train order. I think that's the way I will go eventually. I might look into car cards at some point, because that's what Heath is doing. Right now he's using JMRI, and then at some point he will use car cards. I like the idea of how you can, I guess, really tweak things the way you want them with car cards. Right now, it is very simple to use JMRI operations. I enjoy it that way, but I can see where, you know, a customization with car cards might be the way to go in the future. I have a process.
Yeah, process.
Well,
well,
things kind of went stagnant there for a little bit.
No, it's fine. I had to retire my hat. That it was unanimous between my wife and people at work that it was disgusting, and I had to quit wearing it. It was one that Claude gave me, so I wore it all the time, and it was pretty nice. So I got a first student hat. This was a gift from somebody at work.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Daniel Banks says, how you manage your rolling stock deliveries is not the same as how you manage your trains. Is that, do you mean in car cards, or do you mean for JMRI? I don't know that I completely understand, because again, I'm not a real railroader. You know, I don't know how real railroads do things, so therefore there's a lot of ignorance on my part and maybe how something should be done. Heath wants to know if he missed Bill's announcement and can he make it again for the latecomers. Bill's announcement was 30 minutes long, Heath. You're just going to have to go back and watch the show from the beginning.
Yeah, I can do an abbreviated version. Trains, sell, donate. Me, airplane, fly. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Steve Anderson wants to know if I'm getting a school bus to put a layout in. That would be a cool idea.
You know, that would be pretty neat.
I'm sure my wife would love that.
Would give you extra shop space, though.
That's true. That's true. Well, if I could get rid of my steam train, I'd have a lot of room in my shop. That thing takes up a lot of room. Oh, you should have.
There you go. That's where you get the bus. You know, you rip out all the seats. You put your live steam down on the base so that you can back the bus up and offload.
Oh, there you go.
Then you can do multiple levels, kind of like what Sparky does in his shed. You can have different scales in the bus. You're set.
Yeah.
And again, when the wife kicks you out.
Yeah.
What is Sparky's width of his building? I can't remember. Sparky, what are the dimensions of your building? Because it sounded to me like Bill's building might be very similar.
No, I would say, go back to the steam train thing. I knew, because I had to get it out, because I'm planning on taking it out, you know, this summer at some point, if I ever have time. And I had covered it up. I mean, it's been covered for a year. I had moving blankets and all kinds of stuff trying to protect it. And I knew what it was going to look like after I uncovered it, with all the sawdust out here for the last 6 months of doing signs. And like I was telling these guys in the green room, I took the blanket off, and man, it was just coated, everything with this. I mean, because the blankets kind of filtered the sawdust, so it ended up with like talcum powder sawdust on everything. Just, take flour and go poof on the thing, and it's like, oh God. So I've been cleaning that, polishing brass, so it's nice and clean and ready to take out if I get the time to do it, because I'm going to be busier than crap this summer.
And you're taking it to Train Mountain on Father's Day? Is that the plan?
No, well, I've got 2 days during the summer that I could do anything I want. Hey, look at the balloons.
Oh, nice.
How did that happen?
We have no idea, but you're the only one that can make it happen, Steve.
That's crazy. I love it. I like the fireworks. Those are really cool because you win thumbs up, you got fireworks. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, 2 days during the year, I can do pretty much whatever I want. Father's Day and my birthday. Father's Day is always in June. My birthday is always the middle of July. So I'm going to take the train out for Father's Day in Medford. I got a gal at work. She's going to be bringing her grandkids down there. So I'm going to be doing that for Father's Day. My birthday up in Train Mountain, that's my plan to do that for a few days. But 5 days after that, I've got a driving gig that they're figuring out up in Eugene. My wife still doesn't know it, but I'm going to be gone for 11 days. There's some, I don't know exactly what it is, but there's a shuttle that goes for an Olympic event up there. So they put you up in a motel for 11 days, and then you spend 12 hours a day shuttling people back and forth from the parking lot to the stadium. And it's big bucks. So the drivers that did it last year said they made a ton of money. So I'm going to be doing that. I've got a driving thing lined up with a limo company that I may be doing that. And one of the drivers' family owns a rafting company. So they shuttle people on the Rogue River. Doing that, so they get really busy, so he's going to be hooking me up with probably that too. So that's driving a van with a trailer and taking people, dropping them off at, the wherever they're going to be doing the river, and then they do it, and then you pick them up, take them home, and so that should be fun. So I'm going to be busier in crap this summer, plus what I got to do around here. But that's my update. Of course, you can see there. Let me turn this around. Hang a second.
Heath wants to know if you have to have a special license to do the driving that you do.
It depends. Hang on a second. I was trying to find the camera. Technically, back camera. Yeah. Like the limo company, you have to have a CDL, and you also have to have, and that's why it's really hard for them to get drivers for that, because you have to have a passenger certificate, which you have with a school bus. So, and then you have to get a taxi license, which is easy peasy. That's not a problem. I don't know if make Dennis sick. Anyway, yeah, it's a little cleaner than it was. Can you see?
Yeah. That's good.
Still looks very, very pretty to me.
Oh
yeah. Well,
have you got a new flat car? Is the flat car? Have you had that, or is it just?
No, that is. Have I mentioned that?
Maybe no.
Not
that I recall.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought I told everybody. That shows you how busy I am. Okay. Well, what the deal is with the flat car? I did that the last fall. Wow, I can't believe I didn't do an update on that. I'm gonna have to fix that. So I'm gonna do this slow, Dennis, because I know this thing jerks around.
Well, that's okay. I'll live.
But I had an old propane tank that a guy gave me that obviously wasn't going to work for me, but I turned it into a water tank. I've got right here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a valve that goes into the water tank. I'm doing this very slow, Dennis. And so I did this. What the tank sits on top of the flat car, and this will hook up to the locomotive. So instead of having the locomotive, tender, and the fuel car, I've got it set up for the flat car, which is just made out of scrap wood. And water will run from the tank car into this little opening here. It's just I redid well, anyway. So what's happening is I've got an extra 5 gallons of water that will just by gravity flow into the tender. So that should make it easier up at Train Mountain. I got a good deal on a pair of trucks, which are under the caboose right now. I don't know if you can see it, but they were in pretty bad shape. I needed, some bearings and stuff for it. And it was a guy up connected with my sale up in Washington on my train. So we got a good deal on that. And yeah, I did. So I can't believe I didn't do an update on that.
I think I remember you talking about the tank and what your plans were, but I don't ever recall seeing anything about the actual flat car itself or a new set of trucks.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember the trucks. I remember you showing the flat car with the tank on it. I think that's what caught me, is that it was just the flat car. So I thought maybe you'd made a separate one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, the tank car's just, well, the frame on it was the original frame. I started with the caboose and I didn't like it because there was something about it didn't work. So I ended up using that frame for the flat car. And
have you pulled it yet, or is it still not completely functional and plumbed?
It's plumbed. I've got the propane line runs through the flat car. You got one end there. So basically the propane's going to come in on this end of it. It hooks up so the propane will run through the flat car, and I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I haven't actually had it running. Theoretically, it will work because I've had it on the stand fired up last year, and it worked. So, and the gravity feed for the tender actually worked, because I ran it for a couple of hours on the stand last fall, and it used the water just about as fast as the gravity fed it from the flat car tank to the tender tank. So I'm hoping it works, and I'm hoping the trucks on the caboose work and don't fall apart, because I'm certainly no machinist.
Well, Steve wants to know, how does the gravity feed work? Because it appears, and I kind of thought the same thing, that you don't really have much gravity working for you.
No, just the weight of the water, because you've got
just the head pressure of the water.
Yeah, because the tank sits on top there, and I wish I had the tank on the flat car, but I can't show you that. But the valve sits about, I don't know, about that high, and the hose just kind of runs right into this fill cap. So let's see, because you've got the bottom of this tank. I don't know if you can see it. It just, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it does work. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm making everybody dizzy, so I'm going to go back in.
Well, I'm sure you'll take some video when you get it out and you're running it, and maybe it'll make a little more sense then.
Yeah.
Because it looks like where the valve is would be on the same level as the bottom of your tank in your tender, which I get that if you have more water in the tank on the flat car, then it would gravity feed, but they'd equalize each other is the way I would think it would work.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this back up without disconnecting you guys. Okay. Whew.
Nice.
Okay. No, I don't know. The water because water, it's like a siphon. Water tries to find its own level, no matter, it always wants to equalize. So the water in that tank, that auxiliary tank, the bottom of the tank is higher than the high water level in the tender. So I can turn that little valve on the black tank off, run the water in the tender, and if it's getting low, then I can just turn that valve on, and the water will just kind of trickle through that, because there's I got a clear, water line. I forget what size it is, 3/8 inch tubing or something, that fits down into that fill cap, and the water just tries to find its way down into the tender tank. And that's my theory, because when I went up to Train Mountain, there's no way that little tender will make it all the way up. I did go up to Hope Circle, but there's a space in there where I just don't have enough water. I had to carry 3 gallons of water in the caboose to fill up between the water stops. And I figured if I could get an auxiliary tank car, that would work. But I've also got the weight problem with that little engine towing it.
What's the capacity of the tank car?
It's 5 gallons right in there. It was a 5 gallon.
How much more weight do you suppose total you've added?
Well, see, that's the thing. The total weight empty, I'm figuring, is probably right around 50 pounds, maybe 60 with the weight. I tried to make it as light as I could. But I was carrying the 3 gallons of water anyway in the caboose when I went up last year to Train Mountain. So the weight of the water is not really an issue. It's the weight of the car.
Right. Because the water would be less than 25 pounds, I would assume.
Yeah, and I was carrying that anyway, so I don't really consider the water as extra, but the tank car is. But I think it'll work. That's my theory. But no, I haven't had it out. I've static tested it, and it works on the stand, but in the real world, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Heath wants to know how you convert a propane tank to water.
That was actually, it was pretty easy. It was an old tank. It had no propane in it at all. But I took the valve off. You can take them off. Got the valve off, flushed it out with water, and basically just turned it into a water tank. It does. I do have an issue with, the inside of the tank. Of course, there's corrosion and things. So I've got a fuel filter that connects between the auxiliary tank and that hose that runs down into the tender to catch any sediment, because there's going to be, stuff in that tank. I can't, and that's going to be the only issue, because the injector on these things are so fussy with any little grit or anything gets into the steam injector. So the water's got to be clean. So I've got that filter going down into the tender tank. So I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah. And it looks like we're almost out of time.
Yeah, it looks like we're right there.
But yeah, we'll see. You know, I'll do an update on it when I get it out and running and see if it actually works. But
Yeah. It'll work. It'll be fun to watch your video.
yeah, we'll try. But
well, I guess that's the show, guys. So
that's
we
our
probably
hour, guys.
better call it quits here. Everybody, thanks for being here. And I guess we will see you next week. I think, Bill, are you going to be here next week?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay. Because I know Claude will not be here again. I might see if I can find a guest. I don't know. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that's just beating down our doors to want to come on. But
well, Dave Todd, get on and we can talk trains or something.
All right. Well, we will see you guys next week.
Yeah. Enjoy your week.
Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.